This is the third video in the new modio plugin series, and here we look at fault finding and looking for difficulties. I first of all will show you how that you can display on screen the status of the modio link and what errors have appeared. I'm in the screen designer designing on a copy of the 1024 and looking at the MDI screen. I've used a little bit of spare space down here and placed a user LED and two user DROs. Now the user LED I've assigned OEM code 102222, and the DROs I've assigned 11111, and the other one is 11112. You can have lots of these if you want, because each modio will report its errors separately. So let's save that screen set, go into Mac 3, load up the version that we've just set up, copy of 1024, and look at config for the plugins. Right, we'll config modio2. This is the second one in the list. We configure it. Something that we ignored before were the Modbus diagnostics. Now I've set up my user LED, which you remember was 1222, in here. Previously we had -1. That LED will be lit if the mod IO is OK, or if you had a red one we could have it lit if the mod IO was faulty. That's entirely up to you. This will be the configuration number which is causing problems. Now you remember the configurations were listed in the Modbus setup, so there might be something wrong with the register range, something like that. We're just going to simulate a simple failure like the power going off the mod IOs. The error code that we get we're going to display in the other DRO. Now if we set up multiple DROs we could have different ones for each mod IO. I won't bother doing that. So that's configured. If we go to the MDI screen, here are the controls we set up. So the green light is on because the mod IO2 is all right. The error code is -1 because all is well, and so that is irrelevant. If we take the power off, we get an error. Now it's config number 3 which is causing us problems. That's just because it was the first one that was scanned, I guess. And the error code is 9, which means timeout. If we put the power back on, Modbus protocol recovers. So no error, and -1 for the error line that's referred to. So that is a way of looking at during normal running status of the Modbus devices. Now you might want to actually see what's going on in Modbus registers without writing a whole load of code and accessing them. So if we go to set up Modbus control, this is the general feature, so it works for any Modbus device. There are the config numbers. So number 3 you see was the first config of mod IO2 that was being scanned, so that was why it gave us the error. If we click the test Modbus button, it will stop scanning, so the lights stop polling, and we can now put in numbers. So COM port 1 56 kilobaud. If we were going to look at Modbus 2, because that's the one that's got our scanning matrix. Well, no, let's actually look at Modbus slave address 1, and let's just look at. Oh no, Modbus 2's got the MPG on it, so it would be more interesting to look at Modbus 2, and we're going to look at the data in register. So you refer to the manual, data in register, appears at address 1151. So we start at 1151. Now we first have to open the modio, so we've set up which COM port, so we're going to open it. Status is no error, so it has managed to find it. If we now read input registers, we will get the value in the DN register, and if I turn the MPG a tiny little bit and read it again, you see the MPG bits are changing each time we click read. If you wanted to see more than one at once, you could see the whole input block. For example, we could read all 9 registers there and see them all at once. So now as we do the read, if I change my MPGs, you can see the MPG registers are changing as well as the raw data on DN. So there's the time changing down there. So there are 2 techniques that may help in debugging modio devices.